Welcome back to your newest favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins, where BitBoy and JChains get together each week to talk about crypto and things happening in the community. They will bring you some special guests and giveaways, so make sure you're subscribed. For all show-related news, you can find the guys on various social media outlets. Everything is listed on the official show Twitter account, @BeardsBitcoins. Now, without further introduction, two dudes that have beards, like Bitcoins, and want to talk to you about both, BitBoy and JChains.
Your favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins. I am your co-host, BitBoy.
What's up? What's up? This is your other co-host, JChains. I hope you're all doing super well this week. You know, we've had a good couple days here. Want a quick shout out to our sponsor of the show, HODL Fuel. What's up? Twitter @HODL Fuel. You can get them on the web, hodlfuel.com. They are a crypto-themed coffee. As we've said before, there's no crypto in your coffee, but it is some darn good coffee. I think BitBoy's probably drinking some.
I'm drinking some right now, actually. It's a pumpkin spice.
Ooh, I got the Satoshi blend. I just opened a new bag today. Oh, my goodness. Anyhow, so big thank you to those guys.
You know what, Justin? You know what, JChains? Let me say this real quick before you go. You know, I always wondered, like, when you're watching or listening to the radio and they're doing those sponsored ads, you know, where it's like, it's a regular radio host. It's almost like it's part of the show, but he's doing an ad. I was always like, you know, does this guy really drive a Kia? He's talking about right here that he really drives a Kia. Does he really? Well, I can promise you guys, we really drink the HODL Fuel. It's so good. It really is. So
it is so good. And I actually posted a Twitter video this morning of me opening my Satoshi Blend new bag. It was really good. It was a great experience. I'm so happy the Satoshi Blend is my favorite. Anyhow, we are giving away a bag every week, as you guys know. Last week, congratulations to our winner at Catfish Crypto. I hope you enjoy that bag of OG HODL Fuel, buddy. You earned it. That was a good little post there. So we'll be doing another giveaway for next week. So we'll post the contest and the rules on our Twitter handle @BeardsBitcoins. Anything else? What am I missing? 10%. Oh, if you go to hodlfuel.com and order some coffee, there's a promo code. There's a Beards Bitcoin promo code. Give yourself a little discount on your coffee. They'll set you up right there. So congratulations again to Catfish Crypto. Again, we'll be doing another contest for this week coming up. And that's it. Drink some HODL Fuel, baby. It's good stuff.
So for the viewers that actually get to watch the video and not just see the podcast, you may notice I trimmed my beard. Unfortunately, I had to. I'm going to have to trim it a little bit thinner, even than this, for my Halloween costume. So it's a full BitBoy costume. And it's just the beard just doesn't look right with it. But I can't get rid of the beard because I'm pot committed with the podcast. And my wife and I have been married for 9 years. And she's never seen me without facial hair. So I can't shave it off completely. I got to keep that. I'm afraid if she sees my face, she'll leave me, you know?
Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
I don't know. He's a beautiful man. But
good looking short beard. I like it.
Yeah. So, well, cool. Well, it is time for us to move on to our favorite new segment of the show, which is the Crypto Movement Twitter shout out. Crypto Movement, crypto apparel for the crypto enthusiast. You can find them on Twitter and Instagram @Crypto Movement. That's MVMT. Find them on Facebook at Crypto Movement, and you can also find them on the website crypto-movement.com. Also, 10% off there as well with the promo code Beards and Bitcoins. I got a lot of cool shirts going on there. It's hoodie season, so you guys might want to check out their hoodie selection. But this is a part of the show where we shout out people on Twitter, personalities, trouble with that word, on Twitter that we've been following this week and we think have been making a positive impact. So who am I going to shout out? I'm going to shout out my boy, Crypto Christopher Walken. I totally messed up his name, but Crypto Christopher Walken, he's been doxxed, so he's not just a character. But I got to meet him at Voices of Blockchain in Chicago. He's a really, really, really cool dude. He does
super nice guy.
Yeah, super nice guy. Does so much with the mining community. He works with Honey Miner. He's got his own Telegram chat, and we'll post his actual Twitter handle in the post for this podcast, so you can go follow him. He's a very positive guy, always making a positive impact, and that's one thing I really like on Twitter, because we talked about the catfish stuff last week. there's been a lot of contentiousness on Twitter, crypto Twitter. I think it's kind of the bear market, people kind of eating each other, you know, kind of deal and things like that. So it's good to point out people that are always doing positive stuff in the space, and he's definitely one of those guys. So who you got, J Chains, this week?
Absolutely. Really quick, like you said, met those guys at Voices of Blockchain in Chicago. Super cool to meet the Honey Miner. You know, everybody has a booth. I don't know if you run it. I run it. It's
I do. Well, I run the referral program. I got a video that does pretty good. I'm waiting for the Mac version. Unfortunately, my PC that I've got, I just use it for like one thing that I still need a PC for. And I tried to run it on there, and I would get some error messages. And it's not because of Honey Miner. It's just because the computer's so crappy. I hate PCs. But it's a good introduction to mining for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you're thinking about getting into it, check it out, Honey Miner. Anyhow, the person that I want to shout out to this week is going to be Ken Bosak. Whoa, Bozy.
Yeah, Bozy. Hey, he's had a heck of a week. I know he had some trouble with Homeland Security at the airport in Canada. Did you see that stuff on Twitter?
He's had multiple run-ins with Homeland Security, I believe.
Yeah, it's hopefully it's not something too serious, and he can clear it on up, over the next couple times he flies. Because he was saying something about he's had some trouble, and then all of a sudden his video was pulled off of Twitter today. It's pretty strange, but hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, we'll hopefully see you in Vegas at the end of the month.
Well, it was very interesting what happened to him, and I think this is something important for people to understand. Is we're facing this situation in America where pot is not legal everywhere. I believe I hope I'm getting the details of this right. But basically, he was flying from a place where it was legal to a place where it was illegal. Or, I'm sorry, a place where it was legal to a place where it was legal. But something happened.
Canada to Chicago.
Right. But something happened in the middle, and the plane got rerouted or something. He had to land in a place and do a connection where it was illegal in Texas. And so that's kind of how they got him. And, it's a warning to you guys if you're flying from a place that's legal to a place that's legal and you think you can carry it. If there is a situation where you got to land somewhere else, you could be in trouble. So, yeah. I think so. Yeah, legal advice.
I live in Texas. Yeah. I'm not a lawyer. I don't pretend to be one.
Oh, no, this is legal advice. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't give up.
Don't do that in Texas. I live down here. That's not cool down here.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Moving on. What's up to all of our crypto movement Twitter shout outs for the week? What's up with that?
What's up with that? So let's talk about our weeks. How was your week, J Chains?
My week was good. I spent a lot of time indoors. It's been I think it's been like raining here for like at least a month and a half now. We just entered our rainy season, but I feel like it's a little bit more rainy than ever. But week was good. Spent the weekend at a friend's birthday party out at the lake house. We had some weather that came through, but it was fun to hang out with the crew and celebrate a 40th birthday. That's always exciting. So that's pretty much what I've been up to is, birthday party this weekend and then head to the grindstone working all this week, man. What about you?
Well, I actually have been coaching 6-year-old soccer this week. U8, 6 and 7. We had our tournament. So the season, we started out pretty hot. We started out 2-0. My kid had a hat trick, and one of the, of course, my son is on the team. And he had a hat trick, scored 3 goals. Things were going real well. And then all of a sudden we ran into a buzzsaw and we lost 4 games in a row. And in our little league there were 3 really, really, really good teams, and then 3 teams that were kind of, in the middle, and we were the best out of those, so I'll take that. We just didn't have that one superstar kid, but we had tournament game the other night. We won. My son got to kick a penalty kick. Maybe some of you guys saw that on Twitter. I put some Thug Life music to it.
That was cool.
I know, the music went with it so good. So I did that, and then but last night we did lose 3-0 to an undefeated team. We played them really, really, really tough. We just didn't have that one kid that's got that really, really big foot that can kick it in from 25 feet out like a lot of the other teams had. And but it was kind of sad because we're moving, and my son, he's going to be 7 on Halloween, and he's actually played in this league since he was 2. So he's only 6. Yeah, he's only 6, but he's actually played 7 seasons of soccer with the same kid. So we had this weird thing that happened at the beginning of the season where my team had too many kids, and we ended up having to split the team. And so I actually had to take a lot of the really, really good players and give them to another one because I love the group of kids that we've had together for so long. So is that loyalty, So
gotta do it.
Got to do it. So that's what I've been doing. You know, I do the dad life. I do the dad thing. I'm not out here living that you know, crypto baller life. I'm living that dad life. So,
hey man, that's what everybody's doing, man.
Yeah, but you know, family is very important, and that's why I coach my kids' team and always stay involved with the family. And that's actually a good segue into our topic for the show today. We're going to be talking about, which is how to talk to your friends and family about cryptocurrency. So I guess the first thing to start off with is, have you had any experience, Jay Chains, with doing that, with talking to your family about crypto?
Sir, I have had the delightful experience of talking with most of my family about it, and the most receptive to this whole concept, believe it or not, is my mother. She is a hodler.
Word to your mother.
Word to my mother. What's up, Mama Jay Chains? Congratulations. She is a non-coin brochacha. She's not a non-coin. She's not. I think I double negative that.
She's a brochacha.
Yeah. She's a holder.
Oh,
yeah. So I get to be like her broker, right? So she's really into it. So here's the backstory of the whole thing. A couple months ago, I was coming home to Chicago. I was coming home for a work event, and it just happened to coincide with the Voices of Blockchain conference. She had asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, what?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
You know,
yeah.
Because she had known for a while, right, because I work for the exchange, that I've been in this for a little bit. And so, you know, kind of the anticipation of learning about it, the excitement of, you know, how exciting it was last year during the bull run. So she had known everything about it, and it was kind of becoming a part of my life, or it has become a part of my life. And so this conference came up, and we went to the conference together. She learned a ton about all different aspects of the blockchain. She does her own research. She tells me what she wants to buy, and then I go ahead for her. I'm like her broker.
That's awesome.
And yeah, that's super cool. Like, I'm super excited that my mom, I'm one of 5, so I've got 4 siblings, and the one that's into it the most is my mother. Now, my brother also went to the conference as well with us. He's a lawyer. He's my lawyer, and I pay him in crypto.
Wow. How about that?
How about that, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, it's family business.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Well, let me give you a quick story about my mom, which is very interesting, that actually happened this week. Well, first of all, I'd like to say my mom is the proud owner of $100 worth of Tron. Of course, it was bought when it was at 34 cents, so she doesn't have a lot of Tron, a lot of money in Tron anymore. But anyways, I think that was a bad experience because she got into it in the very, very, very worst possible day. But interesting story. So my mom called me this week and she said, oh, you'll never believe this. One of your friends from when you were a kid, his wife's mom was on her back porch this week and she fell backwards in a chair and she fell 3 feet off a porch and she died.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was terrible. She died. She hit her head and she died. It's a very terrible, unfortunate situation. They go to my mom's church. It's like really, really crazy. So my mom tells me this story and we're like, what in the world? How could that possibly happen? Well, last night after the soccer game, I get a text from my mom and she says, I broke my arm. I fell off a ladder.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. Just right after we had this talk, last night, my mom...
What, the lady's falling off the porch?
Yeah, exactly. Then she fell off a ladder. She fell 3 feet off the ladder. And she put her arm down to brace her. It was in the garage, and she broke her arm. So big shout out to my mom. Mom, I love you. I hope you're feeling better. Really sorry that happened to you. But she's a trooper. She said she was at the emergency room, and people were like, what's wrong with you? She's like, I've got a broken arm. And they were like, really? We can't tell. So we're a family of hard-nosed go-getters. So
feel better soon.
Yeah, but so the person in my family that's the most into crypto is my grandpa, who unfortunately also got invested.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he invested at the very peak as well. So he's not doing that great with it right now, unfortunately. But like I've told him, he's going to be patient. Down the road, it's going to come back. But very interesting about my grandpa is, he actually tried to get a mining farm going like in 2013. He had my cousin and all of his little friends, they were about 17, 18 at the time. They were all into like web design and doing, computer stuff. And they decided that they wanted to get into crypto mining. And my grandpa was ready. He had all the money set up. They were going to go buy like 10 mining computers, whatever. And then the last second, they all pulled out of it. And like, he really kicks himself about that today, because if he had been mining back in 2013, he would be doing pretty well. So he didn't want to miss out on this last wave, but unfortunately, he invested in the, at the peak. It's really interesting because you just don't expect older people. And I'm not, my grandpa, he's almost 80. He's 70. I'm 30, about to be 36. He's about 76. And, you don't expect an older generation to kind of, really understand what's going on with new technology. But the first time my grandpa heard about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, he was like, oh yeah, that's definitely going to work. He could definitely see it, Now, I think
what I like about what he liked about it is that he's seen a lot of things change throughout the period of time, right? Because he's got a different perspective. We're a little bit younger. So he knows this has got to be one of those defining moments in time where there's a shift.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
And I've been listening to Andreas Antonopoulos a little bit. I got the Internet of Money audiobook. I'm in crypto and I haven't ever read it or listened to it, so I felt like it was something I needed to do. And he talks about a lot of aspects of money, and he said, you guys think that crypto is going to be a crazy move, like from us going from, he actually said, like, we've already been using digital money with ledgers from our banks and debit cards. And he said that moving to cryptocurrency is not going to be that crazy. Like, imagine the first time somebody was like, all right, listen, I'm going to hold all your gold, and then you can take pieces of paper around and give them to people, and they will know that it has value. Like, imagine that. Because people used to carry around gold or spices or, whatever it was they had to barter. So, but that definitely made me think about my grandpa and, the fact that similarly to what Andreas Antonopoulos is talking about, with a much wider perspective of history, my grandpa, even in his own 76 years, was able to look over those 76 years and see all the changes and understand what is coming with digital currency. And it's like I tell people all the time, do you expect us to be exchanging pieces of metal and pieces of paper in 150, 200 years? No way.
No way.
Yeah.
Not a chance. That'll never happen. So, that's cool, man. Like, that's really exciting that your grandfather, I'm excited it's my mom, but I think it's even cooler that it's your grandfather because, like I said, that's one more level up, like in family, right? That's one more perspective. And that's, again, someone who has been through, 30 plus or whatever more years of society.
Yeah.
So he has seen that shift. I like if an old guy gets excited about it because then it makes me excited that we're on the right thing.
That's what she said, actually.
Funny guy. I think that, obviously, if you look at the last several years of Bitcoin, it does go up and down, and there are the peaks and the valleys. And this happens to be a peak after like a really nice, this happens to be a valley after a very nice peak. But that only means it's going to go higher as soon as we get more people in there. So
yeah, exactly.
Hodl with your strong hand, man.
100%. Well, my last name's Armstrong, and I got 2 strong arms to hold on to my crypto. So
start your boxing practice.
We'll get into that another day. We're not getting in that one today. I'm trying to lay low a little bit. You guys that watch the channel, you guys know what's going on. So I got some things in the works. Trying to keep some stuff under the wraps right now. Okay, but listen, guys.
What about friends? So that's another thing, right? So you got your family, and we can go more into the family as well. But what about friends? Have you? Because I was brought into crypto by a friend, and I'll tell my story in a minute. But for you, was it a friend that got you in the first place, or have you told any friends?
Well, no, for me, it was, I got into it because of a situation I've talked about a lot on my channel where I was forced to buy Bitcoin to pay for a service, a software that I had. And no, it was not it wasn't drug related or, illegal related. It may have violated Craigslist terms of service, but I had an automated poster for Craigslist that posted ads all the time, and that violated their terms of service. So Craigslist got the website shut down, and the guy had to move, and he started taking Bitcoin like very, very early on. That guy's got to be a billionaire right now. He had to have taken in hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars when Bitcoin was at $13. I'll just say that. Oh, man. Yeah, that guy's got to be mega loaded right now. He's one of the whales making moves on the markets. I guarantee it. But anyways, that's a different story. But so that's how I got into it. But when I got into it, I had my best friend. So I call him my non-crypto bro because he's not like on crypto Twitter, but he's actually been in crypto with me for a long time. He's got about half a Bitcoin right now, but he's just not like consumed by the world of crypto like I am. But so when that happened with what's that?
It takes you.
Yeah, it took me for sure, no question about it. But so my friend, he's got other stuff going on. He's got other businesses and stuff, and so he can't like spend 24/7 in crypto. But you know, I got him into it very, very early on as well, and he made some money. And just like me, being an early Bitcoin investor, he also sold for some nice gains, but could have ended up being worth millions down the road. So he's one of these people that like, you know, he'll ask me every once in a while, like what's going on with, what's going on with crypto, what's going on with the markets. But, you know, for me, I like to talk to, you know, friends about crypto, but they always like act like I'm crazy, you know? So it's been this weird thing. It's this weird thing that's happened in my life where like, I don't know. It's almost like, okay, I'll relate this back to my soccer story with my son, right? We've been playing in the same soccer league for 7 years, okay? We've got friends, you know, that I've coached some of these kids. One of the kids on the team, when I told him that, as you guys know, I'm probably moving to California, I hope, at the beginning of next year, when I said that's probably what I'm doing and I won't be able to coach their team anymore, like the little boy started crying, you know? And I was like, man, I can't believe I made impact on this kid, you know, that much. Like all these people are in my little soccer community, you know, but like they're like in real life. Like I see them all the time. We're always at practice. I'm always yelling at their kids. You know, I'm a big yeller on the sidelines, but real bad. The referees hate me. The other teams may not hate playing us, but the referees always hate playing us. But so you like build this community. Well, this crypto is like tripping me out. It's so weird. Like I've built this like fake isn't the right word. Like this digital world of friends, right? Who have actually transitioned from being like these digital friends to like my in real life friends, you know, like the people I'm on crypto Twitter with, like these are my real friends. I go see them. We go to conferences together. Other YouTubers like Crypto Love, Crypto Beatles, Crypto Crow, Crypto Stash, like all of these people, Crypto Wendy, these are my friends. And then of course on Twitter, I got the Satoshi Droppers. We're all friends. We've almost all met in real life. Droppers. Like we've all met in real life and stuff like that. And it's just so weird how like almost all my friends are into crypto now, you know? But my in real life friends, as it's called, my IRL friends, I don't have a lot of those anymore. You know, really just my best friend, and then all the rest of my friends are in crypto. So it's a very strange, very strange journey this last year has taken me on.
Absolutely. I could pretty much echo that same thing. I mean, it's, the daily life is spent at my computer. I'm working, I'm talking on, Twitter, on Telegram, all that stuff. Like, that's the digital friends that you're talking about. I got I don't live where I grew up. So none of my buddies that I grew up around town or anything like that. I moved to Austin, Texas, and I got like one like awesome buddy here. And it just so happens he's the one that got me into crypto.
Oh, wow.
He's like my whale friend, man. Like he can make market moves on some altcoins. He's awesome. But he's the one that got me into it and got me super excited about it. But at the same time, I think, back home, I've been back home a few times here and there. And I think, one guy that I grew up with maybe into it a little bit. And, some people kind of asked questions and went to a bachelor party. And I tried to get all excited about crypto. And everybody was just like, bro, like, I don't know anything about that. So same thing, man. Like, I don't have the in real life, my guys that I grew up with, they don't really understand it or get into it. But, my guy here, we're super all about it. So it's an interesting thing, when you try to balance that whole in real life versus the crypto life. The crypto life is cool, and everybody that I've met at the conference and that I talk to every day is super awesome, and it's a fun, positive atmosphere. I don't surround myself with any negativity. So.
Yeah, well, it's weird, like the way that we even hooked up. Like we just met each other. Like I didn't know. I don't know. Did you know who I was? Like, did you know my account or anything before?
I had seen your thing because I know you probably got double the followers that I have. I think you got got quite a bit. But
well, I mean, if you want me to pull out the calculator, I can figure out exactly how many if you want.
We don't need to do that. We can just spitball it. No, I think, no, totally. I had seen some videos, and I was looking at the manifest of everybody that was going to be there, and was excited to meet you over by the. How I actually met you, though. I don't think you've ever told this story on this show. Is that at the conference in Chicago, someone stole your bag of stickers.
That mother! I can't believe to this very day somebody stole my stickers. I still got some stickers though. I still have some. Yeah, man, I want to mess them up. Where's I want to mess Chico Crypto up, man? I was so pissed.
He went there.
I went there. But listen, I could not believe it. My stepdad works at a digital printing company, okay? And which we'll talk about later. My stepdad's one of these people that doesn't believe in crypto at all. But he made me some stickers. He made me a lot of stickers, way more than I even needed, in a nice little box. I took them to Voices of Blockchain, sat them out on my little table they gave me there, ready to hand them out, ready for BitBoy stickers to be everywhere. And yes, people did take them and, put them everywhere. But I had the extra in a box, and I sat the box in a bag, like the free bag. You guys know the bags you like pull tight. You can wear them kind of as a little backpack. Most conferences give something like this out. And all of a sudden, I leave for a minute and come back, and somebody took my dang bag. And so in this situation, most people would say, oh, well, maybe you lost it. You misplaced it. And yes, I agree. Most of the time when you feel like somebody stole your stuff, it's actually you misplaced it. Oh, no. There was a lady, the bartender. She knew. She said, oh, yeah, there was a guy in a suit. He came by and he picked up that bag. And I said, oh, what are you doing? And he said, I'm looking for my bag. And she goes, that's someone else's. He goes, oh, I don't care. And he just took it with all my stickers.
She wouldn't go help you.
She wouldn't help me, that mother. It might have been her. She wanted those stickers for herself.
Ooh, maybe.
She would not help me. I don't know what her deal was, man. She would not help me. I was like, listen, show him to me. Go out here. And she's like, no, I'm staying out of it. I'm like, what the heck? So yeah, somebody stole my stickers. And you came into the little area where we were exactly at the time.
The
Lambo Lounge. Exactly when I was looking for my dang stickers.
That was funny. I mean, not funny, but that was a funny interaction because, you were thinking about the stickers, and I was like, excited to say what's up, and then boom, all of a sudden it was just madness with the stolen sticker. But anyhow.
Yeah, but so that's how we met, and so we hung out a little bit, we talked, and then I guess the next night we all went to Crypto Indio's meetup and we talked. We were talking for a while, and I was like,
that place was cool.
Yeah, that place was cool, and I was like, you know what, I kind of like this guy, and you were talking about wanting to get more involved and doing stuff in the space, and I was like, I've been wanting to do a podcast. Let's do a podcast. Like, it just happened so quick,
Yeah, don't you get the wrong idea now, everybody.
Yeah, get the wrong idea. He's very easy. All you got to do is suggest something to him, and he's all over it. Whoa, hey now.
Didn't take much convincing. I said, let's do the podcast. And I think, man, it was probably just a couple weeks later. Yeah, things going. So.
Oh, yeah. I know. We were like, yeah, well, probably in a couple months, we'll get it going. Like 2 weeks later, we were recording. We were ready to go. That's the beautiful thing about crypto is you've got so much in common when you meet other people in crypto. It's like you don't have that same kind of like getting to know each other thing because you're into crypto, and if you vibe well and you can talk with each other, then you can make it happen.
And so that plays into the whole thing about the show, right? Get your friends into crypto. Like you said it, I said it. My friends are into crypto. It's great. Yeah. It's great to interact with everybody every single day. We talk about what's going on. You get good TA from like Wendy, or you get funny jokes from some of the other people out there. It's everybody's got their own little thing that they do in the space, and it's a fun little environment to be in.
It is. So the moral of this story is drop all your old friends and just come jump on crypto Twitter, right?
Yeah. And don't ask how to get there. Just get there.
Yeah.
Let somebody ask you how to get there.
So let me ask you this question. Have you had any experience kind of talking to a friend or a family member about crypto and it did not go well?
I think no. It didn't ever not go well. It just didn't go anywhere. I think, some of my sisters, I don't think are into it too much. I could be wrong. They could be into it. I found some things that, like Honey Miner, all stuff I've suggested to my family, anybody that does have a PC for now. But I don't think any of them have done it. And, it's just not for everybody. But as far as like, friends to approach, no. Like I said, I don't really have. We got one. My buddy here, Ross, and I in Texas. we got one buddy who he's like a wealth financial planner. So he kind of works with, a bunch of old guys, and, they're set in their ways and they have their money and they probably have no desire to get into the Bitcoin or any other crypto. So, he's against it. He's not going to get into it anytime soon, but never get any opposition, which is nice. I think a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, and, on crypto Twitter talking about, I think it was maybe Brecky who brought it up, talk to your Uber driver. I think most of us,
I've been doing that
outside of our homes and our friends. Who do we see the most? An Uber driver. I don't drive pretty much anyone. Talk to those guys.
Well, it's weird though, because like you're always like a little hesitant from I'm going to, so on Monday night, this is something I've wanted to do all season. On Monday night, the Falcons are playing the New York Giants. We're going for win number 2 in a row. That's right. I have Falcons season tickets. Huge Falcons fan. Was just in Pittsburgh last week for the game. And of course I go to all the
Rise Up.
Rise Up. That's it. Rise Up. Look, I'm wearing black and red right now. But so we actually have the Monday night game against the New York Giants. And I've been waiting for this game because it's a night game. And so I'm going to go a little bit early. I'm going to take my GoPro and I'm going to interview football fans about crypto and see what they have to know.
This is going to be gold.
Oh, yeah, of course. And you hear those New York guys, forget about it. Get you a Bitcoin out of here. I can hear, the Falcons love the Bitcoins. Is that a New York accent? Y'all like that? They say that my Donald Trump impression is the most Boston Donald Trump in history. I don't know. So maybe I don't know how to do a New York accent. But anyway, so it's something exciting I'm looking forward to do. I'm looking forward to doing that and getting the response. But there's always this hesitancy when I talk to new people about crypto, because like I pretty much know going into a conversation with like an Uber driver, or I was talking to the lady at GNC today about crypto. Like there's always this thing of like, they're going to think I'm crazy,
Okay. Regardless. So, you have 10 minutes with an Uber driver. Where do you start? What are you going to talk about first? Obviously, you're going to say, Bitcoin because it's the king, or do you say crypto and kind of give them a general?
See, I got a different technique. So this is my technique. I try to find something to kind of draw the conversation into like a technology thing, because pretty much almost everyone is into technology to some extent, especially someone who's an Uber driver. They're already showing that they know how to use like the Uber app, which shows they have some kind of propensity to use phones and use technology. So like, for instance, when I was in Pittsburgh with my Uber driver, we were talking about like, I want to know where the Walmart was. Like they hardly have any Walmarts in Pittsburgh, which blows my mind because I've got like 10 within 5 minutes from my house. And she said, we were talking about Walmarts, and then I started talking about like, well, something I talked about with my friend Crypto Stash. He gave me this theory and I love it. I've started thinking about it and it's so true. Like in 10 to 15 years, all Walmarts will be nothing more than distribution centers for drones. It'll be a Walmart, but
that's crazy.
It'll just be a warehouse where and it won't, like you think like, oh, well, what about when you go to the grocery store, you buy all this stuff? Well, yeah, but just when you need beans, you're going to freaking hit your bean button and they're going to bring your beans. So the drone is going to have to bring like 20 bags to your house. It's going to be like really what you want, what you need on demand. It'll be there in less than an hour. So that's how I started the conversation, talking about Walmarts and stuff. And then I said, after we got that, we were talking about drones. I said, well, what do you know about cryptocurrency? Do you know anything about Bitcoin? And she's like, oh, well, I've heard of it. I knew it was like really big at one time, but now I don't really hear anything about it, And so that's how we got into the conversation. So yes, if you're just like all of a sudden like, hey, have you heard of Bitcoin? Then you sound like a Jehovah's Witness. No offense to Jehovah's Witness. But, like if they knock on your door,
Do each their own.
To each their own. I'm just using that example. They come knock on your door. They're like, would you like to hear about, being a Jehovah's Witness? And like, that's what it's like with Bitcoin. It's like, hello, can I tell you about my Bitcoin? Like, it's kind of weird, So you just got to have a smart way to drive the conversation there. So that's my, my method.
I like that, right? Kind of, you lead into it's something that they're going to be into. And then when they show that interest, bam.
Bow, you hook them.
Pull that rug out. Got him.
Boom.
And then pretty soon, like, I love one of the things I like seeing on Twitter is like, someone who's at a restaurant or whatever, and they go to tip a waitress and they, they'll tip her in Litecoin or him in Litecoin, whatever it happens to be. That's just super cool to like watch that, spread. It's almost like it's like the flu, but a slow moving flu.
Yeah, exactly.
Better be flu season soon.
Flu season. They're already handing out flu shots around here. I don't get them.
I don't either. I don't want to get sick. You get supposed to get sick for like a day or two. No, I don't need. Nobody got time for that.
I can tell you though, I got the flu one time. Like I think last year I had like a lesser strain, but I got the flu real bad one time, and it was so weird. Like I was actually in Texas. I went to the Eagles Cowboys game the first year that the new stadium was open. I wanted to go see the new stadium, so my friend went out there. We went and played poker in OKC, and then we went down for the game. And the moment I walked through the gate, I got the flu. Like the moment. I remember the exact moment of like, it just hit me. Oh my gosh, it was so terrible. We had to fly home the next day. I literally was in the bed for a week. I kid you not.
Oh, there is nothing worse than having a flight when you don't feel good.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it was terrible.
That's not even rated for this show. We're not even talking about it.
No, we can't. We can't do it. So, yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe I talked myself into getting the flu shot just now. So, I don't know.
I'll take my chances. I literally never get sick, so I'm not going to sweat that.
Well, cool. Well, let's jump. I want to talk about something else kind of interesting with the family situation, okay? Which is, so we talked about like older generation. We talked about my grandpa. We talked about your mom. We talked about, talking to people our age, like talking to the Uber driver, talking to your friends. What about the younger generation? And I'm not talking about like 18, 19, 20, 21, because the truth is most of those people already know about it. What about kids? How do we talk to kids about crypto?
Well, I feel like I get excited now thinking about this because I don't have any children myself. I know you do. I do not have any children. But if I had to spitball it, somewhere between around maybe 15 nieces and nephews.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere in that ballpark. Probably a little bit less.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 4 siblings, but my 3 sisters each have a bunch of children. And then on my wife's side, we've got 5 more.
Cool.
5 more, yeah. So it's really something exciting because they have a whole new world ahead of them, right? I have one of the things that I have, told my family, and I said, some may have not perceived it or taken it as well as others or taken the advice, but, setting up, I don't know if you've ever heard of faucets, but you set up a faucet, right?
Yeah.
They're little kids. That shit, if that runs.
Family friendly when we're talking about kids, J Chains.
Yeah, my bad. Setting that up for the children and let that run for a couple of years, until they turn 18. For some of these kids, that could be years. And if it still happens to be running, if you're, dripping the right thing, that could turn out to be a nice little chunk of change for them when they get to be a little bit older.
Yeah.
And so that's some of the advice that I had given my family, is to set something like that up for your children.
Well, big shout out to our friend Aaron, aka Crypto Sanity. He actually has got a baby girl. She's probably about 3-4 months, somewhere around there. And he actually, on her day of her birth, her true birth day, bought her $100 worth of Bitcoin to sit in an account. And it's going to be very interesting to watch how much that grows into. I thought that was an incredible idea for him to do for his daughter. What a gift.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, nice job, man. That's cool.
He's an awesome dude. I love that guy. If you guys aren't following Crypto Sandy on Twitter, make sure you are.
He's a dropper.
Oh, he's a dropper for sure. He's a dropper, baby. So I do have 3 children. They are 3, 5, and 6. I have 2 boys and a girl in the middle. She is begging me to be on one of my videos soon. So you guys be on the lookout for that. I think I'm going to have her play.
Be on one of these.
Well, I think I'm going to have her. I think I'm going to have her as a reporter on one of my Donald Trump videos. I thought that would be pretty funny. She loves doing Donald Trump impressions too. Huge fake news. So anyways, well, I'm trying to figure out a way to do it that will be tasteful and that will be funny and that, she'll get a kick out of seeing herself on the channel. So, but I do have 3 kids and they all know about Bitcoin. They know about Bitcoin. They know about blockchain. They know about Tron. They know about Ethereum. They know about lots of different projects. Awesome. After I got back from Litecoin Summit, I actually gave the Litecoin hat that I got at the summit to my son. He wears it to the Falcons game, so he knows about Litecoin now, and he's just starting to learn about all this different stuff. And so I had them watch. There's a kid on YouTube. I think his name is the Blockchain Kid, maybe. but he's like 8 to 10 years old, and he's so good at making YouTube videos. But since the market's dipped, I noticed he hasn't been making videos very much. And then they were talking about like wanting to do like a toy review channel, but they buy the toys with Bitcoin. I commented, I was like, don't do that. This kid's so good. Do not ruin this educational thing with toy reviews because it's popular and can make money. So, but I had my kids watch his videos. They were very engaged with it. They seemed to kind of, obviously they're 3, 5, and 6. They're not going to truly understand what an immutable ledger is. They're just not going to know it. But they can kind of understand the basic concepts. And there's also another company called the Lincoln Method. And I was very disappointed to find out that I think they only do what they do in India. Not disappointed for the Indian people, but disappointed for us here in America that we don't have this service. But they actually have a whole course on blockchain for kids, for young kids. So they were on the Coin Boys show. So there's a lot of ways to talk to your kids about stuff. And just if it's as simple as you're on your computer and you're looking at a project and your kid looks over your shoulder and it's like, what is that? Tell them what it is. Oh, that's how my kid found out about Tron. I was watching a Tron video. And so, that's how he knows. So, just the little things that you can do, you're planting seeds, so later on they can kind of get a better grasp than their contemporaries, their children contemporaries.
You teach them any of the, like some of the people are really weird out there and they're, it's all about, screw the banks and they steal your money. I mean, you don't talk to them like that.
No, of course not.
There's obviously benefits that outweigh, anything that the normal banking industry is doing. However, there are also, the bank is federally insured. So if, a robber robs the bank, you'll get your money back.
Yeah, you definitely don't want your kids to be revolutionaries at 8 years old. So yeah, I've definitely steered away from that conversation. So
that's smart.
Yeah, maybe.
Smart.
We'll see.
Well, yeah.
I think it is.
I don't know much about kids.
They're a handful, bro. They're a handful. My little
one of these days.
Yeah, I know, dude. But they're the greatest blessing. Like, I feel, if you're okay, I want to separate obviously people that cannot have children. I feel very sorry for you if you want children and you cannot have them. That's a totally different situation. There's like adoption, that's available to you and things like that, foster care, whatever it might be, which is a big need in our country. But for me, like, I'm always really sad when I hear about people that like could have children, but they don't want to have children, because for me, having children is like the greatest joy in my life. I love crypto, but I love my family more, And so being able to have children, it's like as you're growing up, there's all these different stages of life. You have the stage where you're a kid and everything's carefree and it's great. Then you have your rebellious years, your teenage years. And then you move into your early 20s and your college years, which is fun. And then you move in, a lot of people move into marriage, which was like a really, really rewarding thing and a great thing for me. And, the way we did it, we got married first and then, we had children later down the road, and it was just like a different, to me, like this concept was always so crazy of like, there's like these, and still, even to this day, even though we're done having children, like looking forward one day when I have grandkids, like if you don't have children yet, but you're going to have children, like just think about it. The most important people in your whole life aren't even born yet. You don't even know who these people are. Like, you're just going to have these really, really cool relationships and you're going to love these little creatures so much and you don't even know them yet. Like, I don't know, that always kind of...
So set them up a wallet right now.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Set them up for your grandkids too.
Yeah. So, well, cool. Okay, so let me ask you this question. So, how did you first approach your mom? Because the whole point of the show, we're talking about how to do this, What would your advice be to someone about how they approach a family member about getting into crypto? I mean, you said your mom's into it. Kind of how did that conversation start? The first time you talked about it, whether was it just like she was kind of interested in what you were doing, or was it actually earlier than that? Kind of tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah. So if my memory serves me correct, it was shortly after I had started working for CoinPulse, the exchange that I worked for. It was, and I've said before, it started out where, they were kind of just getting started and doing like meme contests. And my mom knows that I like to do some graphic design. And then it turned into some video things and all sorts of other different contests that they were having. And so when I started to spend a little bit more time with this, I talk to my mom almost every single day. We have what we call coffee in the morning, and that's just a phone call in the morning. So that kind of became the theme of a lot of our conversations. And so just explaining what was going on in my life kind of piqued her interest. And then like I said earlier in the show today, that at some point I was coming home to go to a work event, and it just so happened that the Voices of Blockchain was happening after that work event, so I could stick around town and spend a few days with her and do the conference. And that's where she got to learn a lot more. So it really came from me just really talking about my life and what I've been doing and how I got into the space, and what was kind of starting to take over the time that that I was doing some things, and obviously family, we all stick together, and so my interest started to become her interest. And now it's like I said, she's a hodler. She owns a couple positions in a couple different coins, and she's always doing research and looking for more. And she was super excited about the McAfee conversation. Yeah. She learned a ton from him.
Really? Wow.
Obviously, we both did too. But my mom was super excited about that because the perspective that he has, and he's just a cyber genius. So it was cool to have that when we had a recap conversation about that podcast, she was really kind of polishing what she was talking about. Really,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's like my wife. My wife did the same thing, that my wife loves our podcast. She listens to every single podcast episode. She doesn't watch my YouTube videos sometimes, but she listens to every podcast video, and she says like the podcast is a way she actually learns about cryptocurrency. So it's a good tool. But I think
so. What about you? So how did you approach anybody in your family with that same kind of
crypto's going to the moon? You want in?
Lambo season.
Lambo. Well, this is what I'll say. And I think there's like a very important lesson learned in what you just said. Okay. I could kind of get into the stories about each individual family members and how we kind of got into it. But here's a really important takeaway, I think. And this is probably the most important takeaway of this entire show on how to talk to your family and your friends about crypto. Your excitement and zeal for cryptocurrency is what will draw people to it. Boom. That's it.
Market with a check, baby.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Beards and Bitcoin. We out. No. In all seriousness, though, but that's what it is. Like your mom was talking to you, and just over time, the excitement that you would feel about it and the impending revolution that we feel like is coming, people are going to want to get behind that when they see how excited you are about it. Now, obviously, with the markets down, without the number one way people are going to come into crypto is because they feel like they can make money. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So when the markets are down, it's a harder sell to people. But the fact that I'm still so excited about cryptocurrency, even with the markets in the absolute gutter, with my grandpa, it'd be real easy for my grandpa to be like, my grandpa's got $700 right now. He put in about $3,000. It's worth about $600 or $700 right now, And so, unfortunately, that is just, where the markets are. And so because of the market going down, he hasn't been really excited about it. We talk about it sometimes, but he sees my excitement for it still. And that's what gives him hope that it's still going to come back around. And so I think
it's not dead yet.
Yeah, it's not dead. I mean, it's so crazy. It's a market cycle. We're in a market cycle. And a lot of people compare that, people are starting to say stuff oh, we're going to be in a bear market for 2.5 years because that's what happened the last time. Last bear market was so long. The reason the last bear market was 2.5 years was because Mt. Gox, the single biggest entity in crypto, completely crashed. It would be if Binance and Coinbase both were wiped out in a second. Imagine what that would that was the equivalent of what Mt. Gox did to crypto. And not even to bring into the point that BitInstant, which was the other way that you were actually able to move your money around while it was in the middle of being transferred from Mt. Gox. Of course, Charlie Shrim went to jail and that, BitInstant got shut down. We're not in that era anymore. So right now, we're just in what's a normal market cycle. The markets were oversold, so that's just where we're at. And it's easy to talk about that because, that's just where we're at.
That's it. And BitConnect's done now too.
Yeah, and a lot of people, BitConnect, hey. I mean, a lot of people say BitConnect, was a huge, channel to bring people in last year, which I never got involved in it. So I'm always surprised by how big it was. I stay away from anything that has the word arbitrage in it for sure. BitConnect wasn't the same kind of lending platform that like Salt is or Elix or Celsius. It was like it was just a straight up Ponzi scheme. So it always surprised me how much people fell for that. But
people were going crazy for it too.
Yeah. Okay, so the people that bought BitConnect lost 100% of their money, and the rest of us just lost 97. So we're good, 97%. So,
That's just terrible.
Well, cool. Well, Jay James, what's your big takeaway from the show?
My big takeaway from this show is, when you're, I think the most important thing, when you said about talking to your Uber driver, when you're going to approach somebody, pick a topic that that they are probably going to be interested. If it's sports, I mean, you got, if you're into fantasy football, there's no limit fantasy coin.
Yep.
If you're into soccer, there's plenty of tokens now, or there's a couple at least, that are starting to sponsor club, and pro soccer teams over in Europe and other places. Whatever you're into, there's something that is taking part in that industry. So figure out your audience, know your audience, and then that's where you're going to approach them and bring them, up to speed into the industry. And I think, that's, if we connect people on a one-to-one level on something that they're interested in, that's going to get them to go a little bit more, dive deep versus, skim off the top and get people that are just going to, jump in and hopefully make a profit. Let's get people that want to jump in and enrich their own lives and things that they're interested in.
I love it. I think it sounds great, dude. Absolutely love that. I think that's accurate. That's what we really have to do. So very excited to see what's going to happen with our friends and family in the future, as those that are on board are hopefully going to become more on board and are going to be able to reap some financial benefits, and those that are against it, we're going to point and laugh at. So no, I'm just kidding. They're your friends and family. Don't point and laugh.
Coin bros.
No coiners. And that's a term I'm really trying to get away from, is no coiners. I haven't used it in quite a while. That's what people in crypto kind of call people who don't have crypto. As you know, we here at Beards and Bitcoins, we call them non-crypto bros and non-crypto brochachas. So bros and brochachas.
Like the nice version. We're not
yeah. I feel like I made up the word brochacha. I think it's a really good word. I don't know how you feel.
I like it. It works. You should try to get it entered into Webster's dictionary.
I should. It's going to be word of the year. Once my TV show takes off and I'm using it all the time, I mean, it's going to go viral, no question about it. So,
make sure you all watch that. Well, I think that pretty much wraps us up for the episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks again, Hodl Fuel. Thanks again, Crypto Movement. If you need coffee, if you need gear, check them out at Hodl Fuel and at Crypto Movement, MVMT. Is there an underscore in there?
There is no underscore. In the website, there's a hyphen. There's no underscore in the Twitter or Instagram name. So that is all we got. Thank you, Jay Chains, for sending this out. We will talk to you guys later.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to Beards and Bitcoins. If you like what you heard, show these guys some love and rate review on SoundCloud or iTunes. Also, remember, you can always find the guys on social media. The show Twitter page is at Beards Bitcoins. You'll find direct links to BitBoy and JChains from there. Make sure you check for updates, announcements, and contests. Good luck to all who enter. See you next time.